All right, hello English 150 students for winter 2021. I am Dr. Hopkins, your teacher, and this is a video to get you oriented on this semester, what's going on, what's coming up, and all that kind of stuff. Quick explanation, I'm going to have these bars across the bottom of the screen, and these are going to indicate what I'm talking about, so you can click around to the sections you need to. Another quick tip about YouTube, if you hit shift and period or shift and comma, you can speed up or slow down these videos so they go by faster. Okay, so you're in English 150. The purpose of this class mainly is to, one, kind of introduce you to what writing is going to be like in college. It's quite a bit different than it was in high school. And to hopefully help you by the end of the semester get you to a place where you have a whole bunch of confidence at attacking any kind of writing assignment that you're going to get for the rest of your career. We're going to do a lot of getting feedback, receiving criticism for your writing, and then using that criticism and putting it into an action plan to make your writing better, to implement feedback and stuff like that. So that's a lot of what it is: reading, writing, thinking, and then responding to feedback on your writing to make things better. That's the main activities that we do in this class, and those are supposed to get you to where you are more confident as a writer. Okay, some nuts and bolts. Okay, I have two sections, one at 9 o'clock and one at 12:45 p.m. So this is primarily an online class. You're going to turn everything in online. The time that we have together is supplemental to the rest of the class, right? So we will meet either Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. I sent out an email to see for you to see what group you're pertaining to. What the group you pertain to. I don't know what I'm saying. So come either Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, based on the list that I sent you. And then the other days of the week, you don't have to come. You don't have to come in through Zoom. We only meet the once, and then everything else is online. Let's see. Oh, because the semester's starting on Wednesday, Wednesday is kind of the beginning of the week for the rest of the semester. And so everything is going to be due on Tuesday, which is the end of the week, right? That's after I will see all three of my classes. So hopefully that makes sense. It doesn't get confusing. Okay. I mainly use the inbox on Canvas to communicate with you, so make sure you're checking that regularly. There's an app you can get on your phone called Teacher. The icon looks like this, and so check that regularly. I'm not going to send any emails after this one. This is the last one I'll send. You do not need a textbook for this class. All the readings that I have will be online. So don't, if you didn't find anything in the bookstore, that's why. We will be meeting in a computer classroom, so there are computers available. If you want to bring your laptop to class, that's fine as well. Okay, attendance policy. Class is just more fun if you're there. Due to COVID, if you can't come, you can't come, and don't come. I don't want you to get us sick, or whatever. What I'll do at the beginning of class is anybody who's not there, I send out a Zoom link so you can listen in as the rest of us do class. But yeah, the main focus while we're doing class is the people in class. Otherwise, you've just got the assignments online that you can follow up on. There are two activities that we do in class: vote with your body and quote integration. To incentivize you come into class, you don't get points for those if you're not in class. So make sure you show up for that. Okay, there's four, but three major assignments that we do during the semester for essays, I guess. The first is a personal narrative. We'll discuss this more on the first day of class, but mainly what it is, there's this kind of personality test called the 4 Tendencies quiz that I think is pretty great. I'm going to have you take that, and then as your personal narrative, you need to tell a story from your life that illustrates why this is a tendency you have, or a story that shows why the quiz is totally wrong and doesn't work in your life or something like that. You can use it to disagree. And so you're going to have to integrate information from Gretchen Rubin, who's the author of this quiz, and integrate that into your personal narrative to kind of show how you understand it and how it makes sense in your life. The second major assignment is called Find a Thread. So I've got this packet of readings about truth. and it comes from all different directions. And so what you need to do is pick some of these, pick sources, enough, I'll explain how you pick the sources, but you pick the sources and then it's your job to read these sources, pull quotes from them, and find a thread through these sources about truth, about something, about how some of the, how these sources are working together to teach something or show something about truth as a concept. So that's the second one. The third one is called the Change Something Up Research Essay. So this one's pretty fun because what we do is for 21 days, you choose something about your life that you want to change up. Either give up on something, start doing something, or do something totally differently. You'll do that for 21 days. I do it with the students every semester. And so you live this principle for 21 days and you keep notes. You write down all your aha moments that you have during these 21 days. And then we turn that into an essay where you also do research to supplement your experience to figure out how your experience fits in with other people's experiences doing something similar. One thing to know about this assignment is it does overlap with the Find a Thread assignment because we need to live those 21 days before we can write the rough draft or the first attempt of the assignment. So let me just go into that right now. So each of these three big assignments, you will turn in a first attempt, which is worth 0 points. I don't grade it, but it's vital in the process because you give me the first attempt, I give you feedback on that first attempt, and then, I guess it's not worth 0 points. That's a bad way to put it because at the end of the day, it's worth quite a bit because then you take my feedback and you turn in the final attempt and then you get 1 grade for the whole process. And if you miss either the first attempt or the final attempt, it's impossible to get better than a D on the paper. However, if you turn in the first attempt and the final attempt on time, you get 70% of your grade as a completion grade. And so you get basically, if you turned in the worst thing in the entire world, you still get a C on it. And then I have those other 30% to tell you how well I think you did on the paper. So that process of turning in a first attempt and then me giving you feedback, you revising that, and then turning in a final attempt, and then that's the one that gets graded. That's the process for the 3 major assignments. The 4th major assignment is just a reflection essay at the end of the semester, and that's not that big of a deal. So there's that. Okay, minor assignments. We do reading logs. There are 7 throughout the course of the semester, and that's where I give you something to read, and then you write a thing about it. It's about 250 words, so there's that. 4 times during the semester, I will give you what I call an email etiquette scenario. So I give you a really difficult, weird, kind of embarrassing or awkward email scenario that you have to write an email in answer to. Then what will happen is I'll react to those emails, and then you need to write another thing that says, like, here's what you learned from hearing Dr. Hopkins react to these emails. So that'll make sense when we get there. Then the other 2 things are the minor assignments are the things we do in class. There's the vote with your body, and then there's quote integration. Vote with your body is really fun. We're going to do it on the first day of class, and you'll see that. It's a pretty fun activity. It usually ends up being the thing that students like doing the most by the end of the semester. The other thing we're going to do in class, we'll do it next week, the second week of class, is quote integration practice. I'll put a quote up on the board, and you need to, in class, respond to it and write kind of like a little mini essay in class where you integrate a quote from the passage that I give you using academic writing, and you'll see that. It'll make sense. But that's it. That's all the minor assignments. Well, I guess there's some other little things. I'll have you read some student examples of papers and write a response letter and some other things like that. Yeah, that's the main everything. Okay, so a thing about that I've noticed with students is that there are quite a few students I saw last semester who would just not understand how to do something, and they would just kind of suffer through it. They didn't know how to turn something in, or they didn't know what was expected, and so they just didn't do it. And don't do that. That's silly. Hopefully you can see I'm a friendly guy. I like my students. I don't get mad at them when they ask me questions and stuff, so you're not going to be wasting my time or anything. In fact, I'm taking a class this semester, and I just had homework that was due. I didn't know if I was turning it in correctly, so I emailed the teacher and asked him if I was doing it right or what I needed to do, and I felt like, oh yeah, it is kind of awkward and it's weird, but I did it, and it's not that big of a deal. It ended up being a good thing. So feel free to ask me questions at any time. Yeah. We'll talk about some other stuff the first day of class, but I wanted you to get that so that you can understand kind of an overview of the semester and everything. So we'll see you in class, and nice to meet you.